What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Daddy Fino Flash podcast featuring your homies. Obviously, it's me, Daddy Fino, baby. And of course, my co host, the one and only JT Flash. Say what's up to the people, JT.
Hey, yo.
So, JT, we got some interesting shit going on in the world of sports, man. But before we get into it, man, how you doing?
Um, you know, I'm feeling all right. Um, I got a lot of things to say on here though, but
Oh,
yeah, I'm
okay.
all right. How are you doing?
Well, I gotta say, I'm a little shocked, man. I'm a little shocked. The sports world has shocked me in the last couple of days with some stuff that's been going on. You know, definitely last night, Game 4, Warriors Raptors. That shocked me. That result definitely shocked me. I don't think anybody but Raptors fans thought that the Raptors would win that, and they pulled it off. So I got to give them props for that. But we are on Game 4. So how about we talk about it? What were your thoughts about Game 4, man?
Raptors won it. I know that how I picked them to only win 2 games. I thought they would win, but yeah, there's only been one time a team's come back 1-3 in the finals. I don't see it happening this time around. I think Golden State's going to get one more game. But I think the Toronto Raptors are going to win the finals now. I think Golden State's as talented as they are. You can't count them out, but I don't think they're going to be healthy enough. Yeah. Steph Curry, he didn't have the night he had the other day, obviously. What was this? He had like 27 points. He was pretty bad shooting, but that's how it goes when you're a shooter. Some nights you got it, some nights you don't. But yeah, what were your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I Steph did not have the best night, um, but I thought he played pretty well. You know, it was. I mean, he had a lot of. I'll say this: his impact wasn't as high as in Game 3, and although they lost Game 3, you know, he stepped up in ways where he was more aggressive. In Game 4, he didn't seem like he was aggressive as much, but I thought he still played pretty well. You know, for the circumstances that he had, you still had Clay. Clay Clay played really well tonight. Although you could tell that he was still affected by his injury. He didn't move around. He wasn't running around screens like that too much, uh, like he normally would 24/7. The man's road runner running around everywhere. He wasn't doing that. On defense, he wasn't really, you know, the Clay I like to see on defense. He didn't even really guard Kawhi that much. Most of the time, they stuck him on Lowry or Pascal. So it was a little different to see this Warriors team. There wasn't really too much great ball movement for them, just because of the Clay injury. In my opinion, it was kind of stagnant. A lot of bad turnovers also killed them. It definitely killed them. They had like 18 turnovers last night. I mean, you're not going to beat a team like the Raptors doing that. It's pretty damn terrible. Um,
Danny Green didn't have a big game either.
he didn't. He didn't. But the man that really won that game was Kawhi Leonard. I mean, the
Oh, no
you
doubt.
remember you remember game 2 when the Raptors were going off, but the only reason the Warriors kept it close was because Klay Thompson was just going off.
Yeah.
Like, it was the same thing. Kawhi did the same thing last night. I mean, the first quarter, the Warriors looked like they were going to start blowing them out. You know, They had a lot of fast break points. They were getting some steals. The Raptors couldn't score. None of the guys were making buckets. They were missing open shots, shots that they were making in game three when they shot like 52% as a whole team, But they were missing terribly in that first quarter. And Kawhi said, "Nah, fuck that. I'm taking over. I'm not. We not gonna lose. We not getting blown out." And he was just. I mean, man was doing pull up threes, going to the basket. I was like, "Is that Kobe out there? Is that Jordan? Like, who is this man?" Like, Kawhi played unbelievable. I think at one point the score. I think the first quarter it was like 24-18 or something, and Kawhi had like 15 of the points of the Raptors. It was pretty damn amazing, and he continued that all night.
Serge
You know,
Ibaka had a big game off the bench, also
well,
noteworthy.
he had like 20,
20,
20.
20 points, and he played 21 minutes. So
Yeah. So yeah, I saw that he had a big game just because just they couldn't stop the pick and roll, and then he just get the offensive boards and just throw it right back in. I mean, they couldn't find anyone to put a body on him in the post. I mean, when it was rebounding time, someone couldn't box him out. There was no one who could. A lot of times what it would be is the Warriors would switch on defense, and most of the time that leaves, either Steph Curry or that'll leave Clay or maybe even McKinney, Quinn Cook. That will have them on the shot. Ibaka's definitely going to get that rebound. He's what 8 inches taller than all of them. So it's like it was just pretty bad. It was bad rebounding, bad effort by the Warriors, but all credit goes to the Raptors. They played pretty damn great. Definitely that third quarter. It seems like the third quarter is the quarter that both teams, whoever dominates that third quarter is going to win that game.
yeah,
And
and it's like you said, the turnovers. I think it's we're saying that Golden State last night as a team had 17 turnovers. So
17, okay.
that's a
Raptors have like
that's a
10,
lot. At 9. So
9, okay.
that's a lot. That's not championship basketball. Um, I think I don't know. I think they were off because Steph's shot was off. I mean, he only went like 9 of 22 from so um, you know
Well, do you think that? So you said earlier that you think the series is over, right?
yeah. One man you know has only done what now the Warriors are going to try to do, and I think the Warriors are talented enough to do it. I just don't think they're healthy enough to do it. Uh,
Even so, even if Durant comes back, you don't think they can do it.
Not unless he's 100%, because they're going to have to play perfect basketball. Everything's going to have to go right for them to win 3 straight. And I'm
Well, let
not
me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well,
Sorry.
I'm not saying they can't win 3 straight when they're healthy, because clearly Kevin Durant, when healthy, is the best offensive player on the floor. We've both been on record saying that. Um, but I don't think he's going to be healthy enough to do Kevin Durant things. And like you said, I thought Clay looked hurt last night. Hopefully, he's able to go do better in Game 5. But people are on Curry for going 9 of 22, and I mentioned it, but I'm not going off on him, because the reality is that's the life of a shooter. You're gonna have some bad nights. So
Well, let me propose something because I put this on Twitter. I tweeted it, and I was thinking about what would be a great story, and I was as I was thinking of it, I thought, wow. So, what number is going to always be associated with the Warriors. It's going to be 3-1. You see, this whole dynasty all started because of the numbers 3-1, and not the 3-1 of them losing. It was actually the 3-1 that they won. They were down 3-1 against the Thunder, came back, won three straight games, beat them, went to the finals, and then they lost up 3-1 to the Cavaliers. But it was them winning that first 3-1 that made Kevin Durant, even though he was already thinking about leaving anyway. But it was that 3-1 for sure
Nah.
that that
Kevin,
made
go ahead. Go ahead.
that made Kevin Durant for guarantee for sure say, you know what, yeah, the Warriors is the team. You know he was already thinking about going to the Warriors.
Oh,
But
Kevin Durant already had his house bought in the Bay, and his house in
that's
OKC
what I'm
sold.
saying. That's what I'm saying. He was already thinking about it, but that was like everyone knows that Kevin Durant is a person that can change his mind in a second. So it's I mean that's been known. Plus, it's already been reported. Excuse me, sorry. And so that series, them losing that series was like, all right. Kevin was like, yeah, all right, I'm definitely going to Golden State. And then what definitely opened the door to it was when the Warriors lost 3-1 in the very next series in the finals to the Cavaliers. So I was thinking, what a perfect way to end this story for the Golden State Warriors is that if they came back from 3-1 to win the championship, it'll be like a full circle of life type of shit. What started it is now what's going to end it.
You know, that would be a great story. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
You know what? And I kind of don't want them to win only because I I've had I had an argument with one of my cousins about this. He said that the Warriors can't win the championship without KD. They need KD to win it. I obviously disagreed with that. But you know what? I'm all about stories, and I'm also a huge wrestling fan, as you know. And in wrestling, it's all about the story. I can care less about anything else. The story is what makes it legendary. And to me, that would be the perfect story. Winning 3-1, 5 years later, you're down 3-1, and you come back and you win it. And that ends the Warriors dynasty. I get, well, at least this version of their dynasty. We don't know the future, but as of for right now, if KD leaves, they win the championship, and KD leaves, that would be the end of this Warriors dynasty.
I disagree. They
I'm saying this version.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair. But I still
yeah.
think as long as Curry, Thompson, and Draymond stay,
Oh no, no, I agree. They still have shots. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying this version, like this book closes, and then when KD leaves, another one opens.
if
Um,
Katie leaves, yeah.
if he leaves but I'm pretty sure the report is if they win, he's leaving. If they lose, he's coming back. That's the report. I think Stephen A. Reported that.
Well, looks like we'll see Kevin Durant on Golden State another year then. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'm
You're
gonna say this. You're saying so. You're saying you said earlier that what Warriors are gonna win one more and then lose in Game 6, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think that's gonna happen because there's no way the Warriors are gonna lose the very last game at Oracle as the championship. That would be Game 6 in Oracle. That's not happening. If Toronto's gonna win, Toronto's gonna win and at home. But I'm gonna tell you this: it ain't gonna happen because I'm gonna go with the story. So I'm gonna pick Warriors in 7. They're gonna come back, win 3 straight, and fulfill the story that I think the basketball world would love, the sports world would love, and it's right there. It's right there. All they got to do is just fulfill it. It's destiny. It is their destiny.
Nah,
That's me. Warriors in 7.
nah, man. Uh, Aubrey's gonna go. He's in the
Look,
back. He's in the back. Trying to mess up Durant's Achilles more.
look.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
got to think about this too, and this is even more great. If the Raptors were to lose in 7, right? Do you understand the album that Drake is gonna have? You thought Take Care was amazing? This is gonna be some more depressing but great shit. Like Drake gonna drop a fucking album like crazy. Either way, we about to get a hype album from Drake. If they win, oh, that Toronto win that championship album he gonna drop is gonna be fire. But if they lose, that slow Take Care style music, oh man, that shit gonna be fire. Either way, we win. I win as a Drake fan.
I mean, is he gonna drop an album or a diss track on like the whole Golden State team?
Nah, you gotta say he's really friends with all of them, so he ain't gonna diss them. He ain't gonna diss them. But that he gonna have that Take Care album where he's like he's gonna be in his feelings, and it's over. We're gonna have like the greatest R&B album of all time.
Okay, well, like I said,
Anyway,
I think they
anyway,
lose. I think they win in 6. I still think the series ends in 6, but I'm changing it to Toronto.
yeah, yeah. Now, well, you could go ahead and flip flop and change and do all that, but you know what? It doesn't even matter because I gotta say this. I hate I hate when people change their minds on shit. And I'm not talking about you, just in general, man. Uh, because when you said that, it kind of like my thought process kind of flipped to something that that happened the other day, and this is something else that I want to get into in the show because my Jets, man. I know as it became the laughing stock of the NFL when they fired their GM Mike McCagnon. Like what 3 weeks, 2 weeks after the draft. What was it? Was it like 2, 3 weeks?
Uh,
I think it was like two weeks or something. I don't remember.
yeah, I was in May. Drafted in April. They did it in May. I mean, a couple weeks to a month.
Yeah. Anyway, they fired him after they changed their minds on the direction of the team, pretty much. You know, they wanted Adam Gase to take charge and all this, and it pissed me off at first. But then JT, my mind changed. My mind changed. The one thing I hate happened to me. I changed my mind on the whole thing because my Jets probably made the best offseason move out of all the NFL. You know, you know what move we made, JT?
Y'all
We
hired Douglas. Y'all
we
hired
hired
Douglas.
Joe Douglas from the Philadelphia Eagles. He was the vice president of their player personnel. He was the lead man in building the team that won Philadelphia a Super Bowl. And we hired that man who has a great track record, who has a great partnership with Adam Gase, who I'm still questionable about, don't get me wrong. But he has a great partnership with him, great track record, like I said, as our new GM for at least the next 6 years. What a great fucking move. It was that might be the steal of the off season. Your thoughts?
um, I think it's a you. I you know Mike McNan, or however you say his name. Sorry if I'm butchering it. McCagnon, yeah. I think he drafted some decent players for you guys, but I never thought he was all that as a GM. But I think you guys upgraded a little bit. I think Douglas is very good at finding talent within the league. It's hard to say what he'll do now because you're basically almost into training camp territory. So if he makes any signings, I think they signed Powell, if I'm not
We
mistaken.
signed back Bilal Powell, one of the most beloved Jets of the last decade. Go ahead.
Um, but
Fucking love him.
that still doesn't change the fact that y'all have Adam Gase as your head coach.
Well, look, let's talk about some because I think the Jets, although like I said, we've been the laughing stock. I think people just look at the Jets and think bad, and don't even look at all the great moves we made this year. We made a lot of great moves this year. I mean, let's start at the top. Adam Gase. Okay, we don't know what Adam Gase is going to be. He didn't have a great record with the Dolphins, but he's still an offensive minded head coach, and he does really well with quarterbacks. I mean, that's something that's been proven. You know, maybe the Dolphins as a whole didn't play great with him, but his quarterbacks actually played pretty well. Now Tannehill got hurt, but didn't they bring in who was the guy? They brought in Cutler. Cutler actually played pretty well with them. It wasn't enough to win, but he didn't play bad. And you know how everyone shits on Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
He's played well with Peyton Manning. Now, obviously, as Peyton Manning, probably I can play well with Peyton Manning as the coach. But
does Peyton Manning even need a coach? I mean,
no, you're right. But Peyton Manning gives a lot of credit to Adam Gase for his days in the Broncos. So, I mean, that's something that we should, that's something that I think that's a positive. Let's look at other stuff we did. We hired a very hard-nosed defensive coordinator in Greg Williams. Greg Williams, one of the best defensive minds in football. And we already have a great young defense. A lot of great pieces led by Jamal Adams. We got Leonard Williams. We just signed Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams. Who he was one of the top. He was arguably the best prospect in the draft. We also the D lineman outside linebacker / D lineman that we got from Florida in the draft in the second round. He was one of the top 15 prospects. The only reason he dropped was because of outside issues. But his on-field ability, top 15 in the draft. We signed a superstar running back in Le'Veon Bell, who right now before he even sat out a year, he was the number one running back in football. Now that extra year could either maybe bring him down a little bit, or that could just make him better because now he's well rested. We don't know. We'll find out. But the potential is obviously top running back in the league. That's what his potential is back to being. We signed a one of the best middle linebackers in football in C.J. Mosley from the Ravens. We got more weapons from our quarterback, Sam Darnold. We got the beautiful, beautiful Gotham uniforms. I mean, what more can you want from a team?
well, I think, and this could go for another episode. We'll have to see how well Darnold progresses. I think Darnold is a decent young quarterback, but we'll have to see how far Adam Gase can bring him along. That's yet remain to be seen. You guys did make some great additions. The C.J. Mosley addition. Um, we'll see if Le'Veon Bell is still Le'Veon Bell. I think it's going to take him several games to knock some rust off. Because if you really think about it, he's been out of football a year, but he's missed training camps, and by the time the season starts, it'll be almost 2 years. So, but yeah, I think as a Jets fan, you have, and even as an NFL fan, there's some excitement around your team. You guys are young for the most part,
Yep.
so it'll be interesting to see how Adam Gase develops Sam Darnold. Because I thought he played decent towards the end of last year. I think you
Oh, yeah.
guys, I think you guys need some receivers, or at least
Well,
an established number one receiver.
well, I think we already have one. I think that people need to stop sleeping on him. Robbie Anderson is going to have a breakout year this year. He's already been balling the last 2 years. I think this is the year that the world knows and learns about Robbie Anderson. That man, he's a speed demon. His catch percentage is fucking godlike. I mean, he's gonna. I think he's gonna catch a lot of eyes this year. And Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson, that's gonna be the next top connection pair. The the Brady Monk.
You're out of your mind. Just stop
The,
it. Stop. I know
the,
you're a Jets fan. I know it. Okay, but you're out of your mind.
what do you mean? What am I
You're
saying
out of
that's
your
wrong?
mind.
Robbie Anderson is
They're
a
gonna be
young.
the next Tom Brady, Randy Moss connection.
I'm
This
not saying to that level. I'm just saying that's gonna be like the pair. Like they're gonna be one of the names that we think about year down the year, down the road. We're gonna think of the top quarterback wide receiver connections, the Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Browns, the Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne, stuff like that. This is gonna be the start of
First of all,
that
I'm going
duo.
to stop you right there. You better hope none of that's true, because if the Jets are smart, they're giving Le'Veon the ball. A, a good majority of the offense needs to go to Le'Veon Bell.
Well, see, that's where we disagree for sure.
All right. Okay. Well,
That's where we disagree because Sam Darnold, the ball should be in Sam Darnold's hands.
you're out of your mind. One, I Jets fans, if you're listening, at this man at Twitter, he's out of his mind.
What do you mean?
You're out of your mind. Sam Darnold should have the ball over Le'Veon Bell.
You're damn right. If your quarterback should always have the ball over your running back.
Oh my lord.
Okay, so you're saying
Go on.
Sony Michel should have the ball over Tom Brady?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But
It was-
don't
it
compare
was
Sam Darnold to Tom Brady.
Or
I'm
what
saying
James Conner should have it over Big Ben?
first of all, you're being disrespectful.
I'm not being
First, yes, you
disrespectful.
are.
I'm just saying
No.
if Sam Darnold, hold on, if Sam Darnold is supposed to be the future of our team, the man that's going to lead us to future Super Bowls, okay? If he's supposed to be that, okay, I'm not saying it, but if that's what he's supposed to be, even though I believe that he's going to do that one day, why would I not give the ball to him? The ball, we win or lose off of his hands, not Le'Veon's. Le'Veon is a great piece to have to help him. But you don't give the ball to Le'Veon, a player that he may be here for 3 years, 2, 3 years. But you got a man that's going to be here for 15. You give the ball to him. We win. We win or we die with Sam Darnold. That's how it should be, and that's how it will be. Everyone else is along for the ride.
Let me tell you something. Okay. Whether or not Sam Darnold becomes this player that you want him to be, which I'm not saying he can't be good or great, but he's not yet. And you don't put the ball First of all, you put the ball in Tom Brady's hands, okay? Because why? Because he's probably the best. He is the best quarterback, in my opinion, to ever play the game.
Yeah, but you're acting like I'm comparing them. I'm not. I'm saying if that's the man that's supposed to be our Tom Brady, you don't take the
But he's
ball out of his
not.
hand.
But he's not. He's not
What
at
do
this
you mean?
point in his career. He's
It
not.
doesn't. How's he gonna learn if he never had the chance? What you're saying doesn't make sense.
Yes, I am. I'm saying use Le'Veon and help him progress.
That's
That's
what I'm doing. You help him progress, but you still give him the ball. He can't progress without the ball. What quarterback progresses by running the football? That makes no sense.
there's a lot of quarterbacks who are decent when their teams are run first teams.
Decent. We're not looking for decent. This man was the number 3 pick. This man needs to be superstar.
Okay, I think that you're jumping the gun because Sam Darnold.
How am I jumping the gun? I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar. I'm saying if we believe he's the potential to be that, then he should have the ball. You didn't see the guys in Indianapolis when Andrew Luck came up. They didn't give the ball to who was their running. I don't even know who the fuck their running back was. Um, that's how bad they were. But Andrew Luck always had the ball in his
But
hands
this is my
because they
problem.
believe
This
that
is my
Andrew
problem. With what
Luck.
you're saying. This is what my problem. With what you're saying. I understand. I understand your scenarios, but you're comparing Sam Darnold to Andrew Luck.
I'm not. That's not comparing.
But
What
you're
I'm
comparing
saying
the
is,
situations. But
it
you're
is
comparing the
the same
situations.
situation.
But
It's,
Andrew Luck
it's
is
the same situation.
no. Andrew Luck came in the league like a higher prospect than Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was way hyped up, way more than Sam Darnold.
That
I'm
does so
saying,
what? Height doesn't mean anything.
but
At the
he
same,
was
at
better.
the end of the day,
He was
at
better.
the end of the day, they're both trying. They were both going to be the future of their franchises, at least supposed to be. Like what you're saying, that just because like Dallas doesn't have a guy that has potential to be their future, because you said that you don't believe him to be the future,
Okay.
doesn't mean that we shouldn't believe our guy is.
I didn't say you shouldn't, but I'm saying Andrew Luck has a long way to go before you tell me he's going to be a superstar.
Sam Darnold, not Andrew Luck.
No.
But I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar. I believe he's going to be a superstar, but I'm not saying he's. I'm just
No,
saying.
I'm saying before you can even say you believe somebody's going to be a superstar, he has a long way to go.
What do you mean? I could believe anything. I
You
could believe
could.
Dallas sucks.
I think
Doesn't
you're on
mean
drugs. I mean,
you can believe it, but
listen,
that doesn't make sense. I can't believe in his talent. I said since day one, since before the draft, that Sam Darnold. I'm on record with a bunch of Jet fans. One that I work with particularly, that I told him Sam Darnold is the guy that I want. I wanted him since day one. I see what I see in him. I see Andrew Luck in him, but better. I see it. He just needs more time.
you hear the
But I see it.
disrespect. You hear the
Of course
disrespect.
I respect. You could just see it in his game. You can see the talent level. I watched this kid. He was a freshman. You got to remember,
Forget what he did in
like,
college. Forget what he did in college. He ain't in college anymore. He's playing with the big boys.
he's played 1 year and he was injured. But those last 3-4 games of the season last year told me a lot. I'm not saying the man's a superstar. I just said his potential is that high. So
Okay.
you're damn right. I want the ball in his hands.
Okay.
Let's see what the man can do. I'm not trying to win games without my quarterback performing. What kind of shit is that?
I didn't say I had quarterback performance. I'm just saying you want Le'Veon to take most of the pressure off of him as he can. That's what Le'Veon's there for.
I said that. I said no. Le'Veon is there, yes, to be a piece to help him progress. But at the end of the day, I want the ball in my quarterback's hands. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying Le'Veon's not gonna get no rushes. Yeah, he's gonna get 20 rushes a game. Okay, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that Darnold's not gonna be throwing the football a lot too. He should.
Okay.
Look at Carson Wentz his second year. Carson Wentz was having an MVP year, and they had one of the best rushing attacks in the game. But it was who leading the way that season? It was Carson Wentz, was it not?
uh,
Was it not?
2017.
The year he was going to win MVP before he tore his ACL, MCL, LCL, DCL, ZCL, all that, all the CLs.
Listen, man. Let's talk about Carson Wentz.
No, but hold on. We're going to talk about him. I know, but hold on. Am I right, though?
Yes.
Okay, so why can't I want the same thing for Sam Darnold?
Because I think Carson Wentz is a better
They
quarterback.
say talent level is better than Sam Darnold because it's not. His talent level is not better than Sam Darnold coming out of college.
Okay, who cares about college? They're in
Okay, well, hold on.
what they did in college at this point doesn't matter anymore.
I know. That's why let's jump to that first year. That first year, you can't tell me that after Carson Wentz's first year that his year, like his potential is better than Sam Darnold's first year. Because Sam Darnold had a way better first year than Carson Wentz.
All right, well, slow your roll there because it wasn't
First year.
No, yeah, I know, but it wasn't way better.
It was better though,
and I wouldn't even call it better. Carson Wentz threw for 1,500 more yards. He threw.
My quarterback missed. My quarterback was hurt.
Okay.
He missed a couple games, but playing hurt and then missed a couple games. So let's slow down.
I'm not rooting against Sam Darnold. I'm just saying when you talk about, don't mention him with the likes of don't even mention him with the likes of Luck because he's not Andrew Luck.
I'm not putting him in that level. I just said he has potential to be at that level. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Like I'm not saying
But you can say that about everybody.
No, you can't. You cannot say that. There's only certain players that can have that potential to be at those guys' levels. Like, what do you mean? That's like saying Daniel Jones has potential to be Andrew. No, he doesn't. And he's trash.
All right. You didn't have to do Daniel Jones like that.
I'm just saying, shout out to Christian. But, you know what I mean? It was just like, just saying.
I think you could say that about anybody. I think you could say anybody but you can.
That's retarded.
But you said no. But hang on. You said that you could say you believe in anything.
No, believe is different. But
how? It sounds ridiculous. Let's time out. If I told you right now that I believe I could join the league and become the best wide receiver of all time, doesn't that sound ridiculous? Does that sound ridiculous to you?
Yes, it sounds ridiculous.
So why can't I believe in it? But why can't I say that about what you say? But I'm the one that's
no, because you said that I can't believe it.
No, I didn't say you can't believe it. I just said you're on drugs for believing that.
No, because you're thinking like I'm saying that he is on their level. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying I believe that his potential can be on that level.
Of the Tom Brady.
I didn't say Tom Brady. I said Andrew Luck.
Man, listen, you got me triggered because you said, and these are your words. We can go back and listen to the tape.
If you go back to it, if you heard me say that I believe this duo, when I was talking about Robbie Anderson and Darnold, can be the potential down the road that they're going to be like the next duo, like the Brady Moss.
All right, time out. So I'm going to stop right there. So you see why someone would have a problem with that because you just mentioned two of the top arguable the top players of their positions to ever play the game, and you compared Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson. Can you see why someone might get triggered by that?
As their career, I'm just talking about that 1 year when they dominated the league.
Okay, but at that point in time, would you
That,
still?
I'm not talking about specifics. Like I'm just saying, they're gonna be one of those top tandems in the league. That's why I mentioned Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown. I said Reggie Wayne, Peyton Manning. Like
Okay.
I'm
I,
not. That's all I'm saying.
we're gonna let's just move on. We're gonna agree to
Like,
disagree.
Rice. Like that's what I'm saying.
Okay. We're just gonna agree to disagree on that.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
Because I know what you want to talk about next. I know because we already mentioned his name. We've been talking about him. Carson Wentz. Okay, I know you want to talk about it, so I'm gonna let you start off because that's your division. So you're the one who's got to deal with him for the next, 6 years. So I'll let you talk about it first. Go ahead, get the crack.
All right. Well, as you know, Carson Wentz signed that mega deal. Um, I'm trying. What was the numbers again? It was what eight.
It was all right. So he has a 2-year deal already. 2 years left on his contract. He signed a 4-year extension. Basically, he has the possibility of getting 144 million over the next 6 years. But 107 of it's guaranteed.
What are my thoughts on that? I mean, I laughed when I heard it.
I'm sorry, it's 154 million. 6 years, 154 is the total. It's the total contract. He signed a 4-year extension that was worth 128 million, but it includes 107 million guaranteed. That's what it was. Sorry. Go ahead.
Um, I mean, I laughed. I was happy when they signed it, when they inked his deal. Um, listen, Carson Wentz is a decent quarterback, but he's not elite. I understand he had that one good year before he got hurt. Um,
It was a one great year.
yeah, great year, sure. I won't knock him for that. It was good. It was a great year. But he, to me, is not worth this type of money. He hasn't played. He's only played one full season, and that was his rookie year. Uh, he has a very good completion percentage. Especially last year, he had almost a 70% completion percentage. But to me, Carson Wentz has to have very talented players around him, especially at the wide receiver position, to succeed. I think they will regret letting Nick Foles go because he's the real MVP of their team. Uh, I don't know. I can't wait. I can't wait for the season, and because they're gonna regret signing him to this. They are. The Eagles are gonna regret it.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. So on my next episode of When the Real Gets Rough, as everyone knows, that's my section on the YouTube page where I rant about stuff. Um, on episode 2 of it, I actually talk about this contract, and I'm actually pissed about this contract. But for different reasons than you, not because um, that he needs help on the wide receivers and stuff like that. And not because his talent is not there, because I see the talent. I don't think his talent is decent, like you said. I actually think his talent is up there, as can be one of the best in the league. My reasons for hating this contract is because I feel that he hasn't earned it by staying on the field. Um, he had that great second year. Um, he played 14 games. No, it was like 13 games, actually. I'm sorry. Before he tore all his MCL, ACL, DCL, CL, whatever CLs he tore. He tore them all. I know that. But he was going to go on to win MVP that year if he didn't get hurt. That was a lock. It was like a guarantee. He was going to be the MVP. And we don't know what would happen in the playoffs. Yes, it was Nick Foles who took over. and they won the last couple games, won the playoffs, and then obviously won the Super Bowl, became Finals MVP, not Super Bowl MVP. Um, but uh, what was it? Oh yeah, he became Super Bowl MVP. Then the next year, Nick Foles took over once again when Wentz got hurt. I think they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Am I right about that? Or did they win another game in the playoffs?
You're talking about last year?
Yeah,
I,
I
I,
think they lost in the first, right?
yeah, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but yeah, they didn't go far.
Yeah, I think they lost in the first game, but he played well. Nick Foles played like, oh yeah, because what's his name dropped the pass? Was it Jeffrey? Alshon Jeffrey. He
Yeah,
dropped the pass.
Ashton Jeffrey. Yep.
He dropped. They lost in the first game. They should have won that because he catches that. They win that game pretty much. Um, so yeah, I know that you mentioned, Nick Foles. They should have never let Nick Foles go. I thought they should have. I think Nick Foles is overrated. Yes, he had the great game. Great 2 games. That that conference championship and then in the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't play better than that. But I still think Nick Foles is overrated. I've seen him fail too many damn times. Uh, so I don't even care about that. Back on Wentz, I just think that Wentz needs to stay healthy for him to get a contract like that. I think it's sickening how he gets hurt and he gets 107 million guaranteed, but we shit on guys like Le'Veon Bell who can't get his money. Yeah, he was the number one running back in the league, and we shit on him for sitting out. Yeah, he earned his money by staying healthy. Even though he missed some games through he got hurt a little bit, but nothing too serious. And I think he had some outside problems a little bit, but nothing crazy. But he still performed, was the best running back in the league, and he can't even get what 14 million a year. But we're giving guys like Carson Wentz who gets hurt and misses seasons 107 million. I think that's fucked up. But that's just me. I just think the NFL. I know the quarterback is a priority, but I say that although it's a priority, I think that we need to get to a point where quarterbacks still got to earn their money. I'm tired of these quarterbacks getting money that they don't deserve. We got what's his name in my not Miami, in fucking Minnesota. Why's my mind going blank right now? He used to play for the Redskins.
Kirk
Got his
Cousins.
face. Kirk Cousins. There you go. Sorry, Kirk Cousins. The man got what 4 years, 84 million, all guaranteed for what? He hasn't done anything. I don't even think the man has a playoff win, or if he does, he has one. Like it's just like that's terrible. What has he done?
Well, I think
That
we both agree that Wentz doesn't deserve his contract based off of he's been in the league 3 years and he hasn't played 3 full seasons. He's only played 1 full season.
one full season and maybe like in total he's probably played what like
He's played 40 games. Played
40
so
games.
not even three
So
seasons. He's played
not yet.
2.5 seasons basically, and we gave him Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady money. So
Yeah, and the thing is, I can understand. I understand if they did it off potential. Um, there is a other side of our argument. If they go off his potential, because they're obviously going off for that second season. When he came back for his third season, he didn't do that well, but he was still all right. A lot of people just contributed that to him coming back from injury. Um, But then there's another side that what if he does return this year and he goes the fuck off? Then this would actually be a bargain, definitely based off other quarterbacks that are going to be potentially getting money pretty soon. Guys like Pat Mahomes, people like Dak. Um, who else? Who else is going to be getting money soon? Well, those are the main two, at least. So based off their contracts, this is going to be kind of like a bargain because we know that quarterback's money is just going to keep going up. I mean,
How it is. I mean,
that's just how
every
it
year
is. Yeah,
back gets bigger and bigger
it
deals.
gets bigger and bigger, like you said, and it's really dumb. I wish that there would be a team that just makes a stand and says like, no, like you got to earn this money. Not let's not go off potential. Let's go off of what we know you can do. If the quarterback is the most the most important position in arguably all of sports, then you gotta earn that money. I feel like, and these guys are not. And we speak about West's contract and how we both disagree with it. Let's look at let's look at Dak's potential contract coming up. He's talking about what 30 million a year. Am I right about that, Cowboy fan?
Yeah, let's. I don't even want to discuss this because I could.
No, we got to because this is all this. I mean, we have to, man. You gotta have to talk about it because Dak is gonna get if this man got 107 million guaranteed, okay, for 154 for the next 6 years. Dak's contract. Has how many years left? One.
Yeah. Well, I will. Yeah, one or 2.
Year. So
I don't.
he's gonna sign at least a 4 or 5 year deal. If he gets the third, he can't get 30 million because that would be actually under. That would be technically under um Wentz's deal. Although it will be more per year because it will be a five. Let's say he signs a 4 year deal, a 4 year extension. No, I mean I'm sorry. Let's say he matches Wentz's contract, so Wentz is there for Philly for the next 6 years. Let's say Dak signs a 5 year extension. That makes it also 6 years. Let's say he does it for 30 million a year. That's only 150 million. That means that's less than Wentz's deal of 154. That
Well,
means Dak is going to be pushing for at least 35 mil.
let me say this in terms of Dak and Wentz, and I'm not disrespecting Dak. They're two different kind of quarterbacks.
Uh-huh.
But Wentz is a far better quarterback than Dak Prescott is in terms of potential.
I agree with that. I do. I agree with that. You're going off of talent. I'm assuming, right? They're individual talent. Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
No, with that being said, the Cowboys can win with Dak Prescott. The advantages Dak has over Wentz is his durability. So he has Wentz there, but I don't want Dak Prescott to sign the Cowboys to ink him to that big contract because I feel like he hasn't earned a big contract yet. But that's just me.
And that's understandable. I mean, but based off what the NFL is now, you have to.
Yeah, and so I thought about long and hard about this, and this is going to come on a one of my when JT flashed on it down for you. So watch out for this, but you know, people want to complain about Dak, and I'm not complaining about Dak, but you got to look at who else is out there. Who else would you rather have? So we don't really have a choice but to sign him to a deal right now. So,
Right.
yep, it is what it is. We can agree to disagree that Carson Wentz's deal, monster deal. Let's just call it that because that's what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a monster deal.
We'll have to see what he does this year with older players. I still think he has a top 5 tight end that'll produce numbers, but Alshon Jeffrey seems to be on the decline. I think they re-signed Deshaun Jackson again, who's on the decline. They got rid of Golden Tate was on the roster last year, right?
Yeah, Golden Tate is
He's on the
now.
Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, we'll have to see what he does this year and if he comes back before I'm going to sit here and say he's he was having an MVP type season in 2017 before he got hurt. I'll agree with that, but for me to say he's worth this money, I have to see what he does in 2019, and not only that, he's going to have to play 16 games. But we never mentioned this, and if you did, I just didn't hear it. They paid him, and the man hasn't played one playoff game.
No, I didn't mention that, but you're totally right, and that's why I was asking about Dak, because Dak has. So just imagine, and doesn't Dak have a win in the
Yeah,
playoffs?
Dak has a win against
So
Seattle. So
that's what I mean. So it's just like, if he's getting 30, Dak's got to ask for at least 35 a year, at least. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm shocked he ain't asking for 40. Like, I mean, that's what I would do. I would have ended all negotiations with them after this contract came out and said, all right, we got to start over. Let's start back from the beginning. Let's redo this contract. All the negotiations we had before, we got to say, forget that. But, hey, I agree. I do agree with everything you said, though. For the most part, I think that we don't know what he's going to do. I think eventually he probably will earn this, and maybe it will look like a bargain down the line. But, only time will tell.
I'm just saying to play in front of that fan base in the city of Philly is tough, and if he struggles at all this year, everybody's gonna turn on him for the Eagles organization for giving him that contract. I've seen it before. So
No, you're 100%, man. 100% correct on that. But all right, man, we're gonna have to end that right there. I think it was a pretty good talk we've had today. Uh, we both have some episodes coming out of our separate sections on the YouTube page. The rough when the real gets rough. JT Flash slowing it down. You got what, like couple episodes coming out next couple of days? How
yep,
many you got?
I got 2 coming out for sure. So watch out for those.
Okay. I definitely have one, I think I have 3. I created 3. Or I made 2 and I got 1 that I'm thinking about doing. Probably record that later on today, but we'll see how it goes. Anything else you want to say to the people before we wrap it up?
I love y'all. I love y'all.
That sounded so like for sure. Like, I don't know, people.
I love y'all. There we go.
There you go, man. All right. Well, that's JP Flash saying he loves you guys. I love you guys too. I do. I appreciate everybody. All the viewers have been listening so far. We got a lot more coming, I promise you. Um, it's just enjoy the ride. Make sure to let us know how you feel about the podcast, how you feel about our videos. Let us know. Hit us up in the DMs or just comment on it, or just also remember to like, subscribe, share, do all that for us. We all really appreciate it. But we're gonna end the show right here. That was another episode of the Daddy Fino Flash podcast. I'm Daddy Fino. He's JT Flash. We out of here. Peace.